Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me again today for another message from Love Itself. Before I begin, I wanted to mention that I have a podcast as well, which is called Divine Chaos Spiritual Awakenings, Psychotherapy, and the Jacked Up Journey of Our Life. That, like I said, is on Spotify. And there I share other reflections. Sometimes I'm talking with my dear friend and colleague Ruth. Sometimes Jerry joins us. And sometimes it's me just riffing with random and new messages from Love Itself or life experiences as well. And then there is the podcast on Spotify that is called Morning Minis with Divine Chaos. And that is where I've recorded meditations around these messages from love itself to help you more fully integrate these messages and learn to just really live these messages and experience the peace of them. Every time I'm recording those, my days always go so much better. I just feel so much more in the flow when I'm meditating with these messages. So I would like to invite you to subscribe to either one of those podcasts or YouTube and share with friends or family or people you feel like could benefit. I'm kind of putting out an eager request that you consider s- subscribing to one of those on Spotify, because that will help financially support me in this mission to help folks tune into love's presence in their lives and really remember for each one our indelible worth. So I want to let you know with a subscription, if you send me an email with that subscription, because I don't always get to see who is subscribing, I would be glad to send you a free copy of your indelible worth so you have one for yourself as you go along in these messages with me. So I would just send me an email, let me know that what you've subscribed to, and give me your address, and I'll send you a copy of your indelible worth. And you can send that to Janine M. Delaney at gmail.com or Janine at the Heart's Way. I believe that is also .com, but you know what? I'll have to put that in the show notes so you'll know for sure. It's been a while. Either way, I welcome your subscription or sharing these messages with friends or family, and I appreciate your support. So I'm kind of on a roll because we're on lesson 10, which is releasing the illusion of separation. And I am so feeling that these days. And so the second message came up, just really struck me today, called Return Home. And this is so fitting. It's no wonder this one just spoke to me so much today, because I had the coolest vision last night as I was falling asleep. I mentioned in some other podcasts or YouTube channel videos that I've been given these visions that are the coolest thing. And it's just becoming more and more apparent that these are not of my own making. And they're coming up like they're in these little kind of gray boxes. And they're just showing up like, here, this one's for you, and it's just been so cool to receive these visions which come packed with messages. So you know what? I'll read the message first, and then I'll share the vision with you, because it is so fitting given this title, Return Home. So this is a second message of love from lesson 10 in your indelible worth. Let go the body and remember me. Let go the thinking mind and find yourself immersed in me. Let go the spirit and merge with me. Release the separation and float with me. Meet me in the infinite space of nothingness and all that is. Here is your return home with me, within the deep presence of my love, always here for you, celebrating all you are creating, ever by your side, reveling in each step you take, and always am I empowering you, encouraging you, to know your truth in me. So I will go back slowly here. And now I think this is a good time to share this vision. So the title being here today, Return Home. As I was falling asleep last night, I've been reading a new book called The Age of the Heart, and it's by Sebastian Blacksley. And he has received some amazing, powerful messages. Actually, he's been in connection with so many divine masters since he was a child and had experienced a tragic car accident. Anyway, so this book, The Age of the Heart, they're talking about a new heaven and a new earth. And as I was falling asleep, or going into sleep, I reached out to love itself, and I just said, "Could you give me a vision? Give me a vision of what this new earth will look like. I would love to see a vision." And the coolest, funniest thing, I was just telling Jerry this morning, it pops up again in this kind of little like gray box. And all I saw, and I knew exactly what it was as soon as I saw it, were these ruby red slippers. I'm not sure. It was like somebody was lying down. It kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, the witch from the Wizard of Oz or whoever, but I know, Dorothy was wearing the ruby red slippers. I didn't see the body. I just saw the feet lying down with the ruby red slippers, just, upright, just kind of been somebody wearing them. And I knew instantly what the message was. And the message was, in the new earth, you'll be able to go home whenever you want. You'll be able to connect and move in and out of home. And it was just, I just kind of had to chuckle when I saw it. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. This is perfect. And then it dawned on me, yeah, you're really being given these visions. So I'm just saying thank you to Love Itself for that one. Sometimes they're just kind of humorous, um, and yet enlightening at the same time. So that was a fun one for me. I want to hold on to. So we are all getting to this place where we're just strengthening our connection. And this is something, I told you, as I've shared some of the angel messages, they're like, we are rejoining, and this is such an exciting time. So let yourself be open to this rejoining, this openness, this connection that's going to start flowing more and more. So if I go back through this message more slowly, love again says, let go the body and remember me. And this is what happens in meditation when you just start with let go, let go. You start to feel your body let go. As you let go your attachment to the body, you start to remember that you're not a body, that you're so much more. Let go the thinking mind and find yourself immersed in me. That is also something you discover as you let go the ego mind, the thinking mind, which again comes in the stillness, comes in the just breathing and just being. As you learn to practice meditation, you'll learn to let your mind be still, and you start to have this growing awareness that you are living in love's presence, that you're still there. For some people, getting started with meditation is difficult, and getting them, learning to let the mind be still. So sometimes, you can just start by just trying to be very, very present. If you're taking a walk, just try to focus on your breathing and try to be very, very present in the moment, in what love for me calls the holy instant, because that's where we become more aware of love's presence, because we're not thinking when we're very present, when we're just feeling our feet, maybe walking on a path, where we're just breathing in the colors or the flowers that are near us, just being very very present with whatever it is you're doing. It could even be like washing dishes or cleaning something or just looking at a sunset, watching the birds, just being very, very present. You start to have that sense that you're immersed in love. Love goes on and says, "Let go the spirit and merge with me." I think what love is saying here is even, just let go of everything, let go of all attachments. Even the spirit you're remembering is one with love. Even at our highest selves are one with all love. Release the separation and float with me. So the more and more that we let go, the more we release, the more we find that we're just weightless. We start to feel the bliss of being, of floating. Meet me in the infinite space of nothingness and all that is. Here is your return home with me, within the deep presence of my love. Always here for you, celebrating all you are creating, ever by your side, reveling in each step you take. So, as we allow ourselves to open to the deep presence of love that is here for us, we start to recognize that love is celebrating with us and joining us in this experience of creation. It's a tandem dance. We're not alone. Love is right here in it with us, always by our side, reveling in every step we take. And always am I empowering you, encouraging you to know your truth in me. This is something we open to the more we intentionally put our awareness on our hearts and allow ourselves to be open to the love that is here for us. And that can be kind of tricky when we have ego blocks that honestly, for me, when the ego kicks in and I'm worrying about something, or, it's almost like when we're worrying and we have that fearful state, we're buying into core messages that something's wrong and we need to fix something. It really sends us into a trauma response, kind of the amygdala kicks in, the fight or flight response kicks in, and we start to live in that place where we function by fear instead of in this flow of love's presence. And we can't really have our feet in both places. As long as there's that block coming from the ego that's telling us there's something we need to be afraid of, or something we should fix, or something we should do, for me, it's just like a big old wall or a huge block that just covers the heart and keeps you from being able to let yourself be loved, to let yourself receive the love that's there for you. So sometimes even just being able to acknowledge, oh, I'm judging myself here, or I'm telling myself I should be able to do this or fix this, or even just to acknowledge I'm feeling fearful of this. Whatever it is, just acknowledging those feelings that are there and bringing them to love's presence to say, "Oh, love, this is hurting. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling fearful, or I'm in deep pain. I'm feeling grief from this." Whatever those feelings are, just to bring them to love and let yourself just kind of hold them up to love can help give you the opportunity to let love itself bring that comfort to you, to soften all of those blocks so that kind of love's presence can get through. The deep love that's there for you can start to move through the cracks and soak into the places that feel hurt or sad. And so that's why it's so very important that we let ourselves have a practice of journaling, of bringing all of our feelings to love, just to acknowledge them. We don't have to fix them. We just hold them and let love be there and offer the comfort for us. And that's what starts to soften the blocks so that we can let in more of the awareness of love's presence in our lives. And that's when we begin to recognize what love's saying, encouraging you to know your truth in me. We can therefore begin to remember who we are, remember our truth and our union with love as we allow ourselves to recognize love's presence there and let love in. In the journaling prompt, it says, I'm beginning to recognize my truth in God is. And then it gives you the opportunity to explore that. I'll give you a little example of this. I've been really struggling for a few years now, kind of walking this line, holding on to my counseling business. When I started doing counseling, it was my passion. And it still honestly is my passion, joy to be present with people and help them to open to love's presence. But the business part of it took on an entity and a toxic core message all its own. It became the shoulds, it became the kind of the fear-based core messages. Like it started to become like you're stuck in a box. And so as these messages started to flow for me, my truth in love itself was coming forth. I wanted to share these messages. I want to connect to a larger group of folks, all of you, so that we all can expand our awareness of love's presence. I needed to move out of the box of a small business in a small town. And love has been trying to encourage me all along, but I had to first, and I've still been in this journey of bringing the fears and the toxic core messages about my worth attached to a business and attached to income in this way, how it's perpetuated fear for me and kept me living kind of according to ego standards versus letting myself fully live in the truth of who I am. I actually, not even that long ago, just kind of did a depiction in a picture of thinking about, how I needed to cut the cords. I needed to kind of burn the boats to the other side that are keeping me stuck in kind of ego messages. And so I drew pictures of the boats that were holding me back, and one of them was, being attached to the boat of a business owner. So just to bring that to love. And then what I discovered was, me feeling kind of trapped. I drew this little sad, pathetic little picture of me being trapped under the boat with all the other gifts I have feeling trapped beneath that. And for me, I had to bring, just the act of letting myself feel it and see it and bring that to love helped me to realize, this is who you are. There's gifts still buried under these toxic messages. But I had to bring it to love. I had to hold it and have the grief of it so that then I could move forward and say, you know what? I think it's time to sell the business. I think it's time to trust that love's got you. Right. So that's kind of where I'm in the process of working on. So we have to let ourselves do the emotional work to bring the hard stuff, the fear, the toxic core messages to love itself so that we can let them be transformed and shift and allow ourselves to receive, to know our truth. with love itself. We have to give ourselves permission to keep releasing this sense that we're separate and alone, and to keep working through the toxic messages that perpetuate this dream of separation. So, as a journaling exercise for you, I encourage you, if you're feeling a block, if you're not feeling the love, if you're not feeling your awareness of your truth in love's presence, your truth in God, I invite you first to journal those feelings, those blocks, the grief, the self judgment, whatever it is, the shoulds. Journal those, bring those to love first. And then you'll be more free to move into this journaling prompt which is I'm beginning to recognize my truth in love, in God, in my higher self is this. Let yourself begin to name your truth. And you know what? Your truth comes to you as you let yourself fully be you. Embrace fully who you are, all of your feelings, all your needs, everything about you. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything. Embrace the quirky, the weird, embrace it all. And then the closing affirmation. Today I will try to let my thoughts be still as I sink my awareness into the infinite space of love all around me. Try to breathe in the love that is all around you today. Thank you for joining me and in letting me fully be me today as well. May you feel the peace and the bliss of coming to know your truth in love as well.